Have you ever left a conversation feeling exhausted, unheard, or like you said all the wrong things? Imagine what would happen if you had ready words to reset the tone, reconnect rather than resist, and actually move forward. That's what this book shows you how to do. Next, Jefferson Fisher is a trial lawyer turned communication expert who burst onto social media with millions of followers by sharing bite sized, practical conversation tips. His book, The Next Conversation Argue Less, Talk More, released in March 2025, became a New York Times bestseller and offers tools to transform tense dialogue into meaningful connection. It matters because it gives you simple phrases and strategies, not theory, so you can stay calm, confident, and clear under pressure. The core idea is this: don't aim to win arguments, aim to connect, to understand, and to move forward. That shift changes everything. One key lesson is to think of arguments not as battles, but as windows into what's really going on. You're not fighting someone, you're unraveling the knots beneath the surface. For example, someone snaps at you at work. Instead of snapping back, imagine what stress they might be carrying. Try saying, "Help me unravel this," and listen. Applying it is as simple as pausing before you react, asking curiosity questions, and inviting dialogue instead of escalating. Next, Fisher stresses that your next conversation matters far more than the argument that came before. The first talk may flare, but the next one has the power to heal or redefine things. Picture a fight with a friend over a misunderstanding. 2 days later, you call them and say, "I've been thinking. Can we try again?" That second conversation often matters much more. You can apply it today by choosing to circle back after tension has cooled and say what you really meant calmly. The third big lesson is that true connection requires both understanding and acknowledgement, not just hearing words, but showing someone they've been understood. Fisher describes a missed tone in a text message from his own mother. He realized that digital messages lacked emotional nuance. You can fix this by adding something simple like, "I hear you," or "That makes sense," to show connection. If people feel recognized, they thaw, so make that part of your next exchange. Another essential theme is maintaining control of yourself before trying to control the moment. Fisher explains how arguments have ignition and cooling phases. First, the emotional flare, then the regret. He advises taking a conversational breath to reset yourself. Breathe in slowly, breathe out slowly, pause, so logic stays online and you don't get hijacked by anger or embarrassment. You can practice this by counting silently 5 seconds before speaking when you feel triggered. Fisher also gives a clear framework of 3 rules: say it with control, say it with confidence, and say it to connect. Under Say It With Confidence, he lists specific habits: never undersell yourself, cut excess filler words, and begin statements with "I'm confident" when applicable. For instance, instead of just checking in, you say, "I'm confident our meeting will help us move forward." That small shift changes how others take you. If you practice one rule at a time, focusing on pacing and phrasing, you begin to feel and sound more grounded. Finally, Fisher addresses dealing with difficult people. He shows how to deflect insults, stop interruptions, and push back on fake apologies, all in ways that preserve your dignity without escalation. If someone interrupts, let them finish, then calmly resume where you left off. If they insult you, pause, repeat their words slowly, and ask, "Did you mean that to sound rude?" Then breathe out quietly. These techniques give you space and subtly make the other person rethink their behavior. Overall, these lessons offer everyday tools for work disagreements, tense relationships, or awkward text exchanges to shift from reactive to intentional responses. To summarize takeaway points in a way you'll remember: see arguments as windows into deeper truths rather than battles to be won. Treat the next conversation as a chance to heal or clarify. Focus on both understanding and acknowledging the other person. Control your emotional ignition with breath and pause. Speak with control, confidence, and connection. And use practical, assertive phrasing to protect your peace and keep the dialogue grounded. If you've ever felt stuck in conversations that go sideways, the next conversation arms you with exactly what to say and how to say it next. It is a guide to keep your composure, reclaim clarity, and create positive shifts in relationships big and small. If you want to learn more, check out the full book by Jefferson Fisher or explore his podcast for bite-sized conversation tactics. And if a certain conversation is weighing on you, pause and ask yourself, what could you say in your next conversation to change how it ends? I'd love to hear your experience. Feel free to share your thoughts or comments after watching or reading. Thanks for listening.